Hi everybody, it's Whitney. Welcome back to the stream. Tonight, I'm not playing Shadow of Destiny, as you can probably tell from the big image of Deadly Premonition 2. Instead, it's going to be a live discussion on the new Deadly Premonition 2 trailer that just dropped today. I am joined by Dan from Deadly Premonition Archives, my partner in the channel. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, everybody. I cannot wait to start talking about this because, and this is the crazy part, we didn't talk about this all day. No tweets, no emails, no getting online, nothing. We wanted to save it all for this conversation. So I have a lot to talk about with this trailer, and I'm going to assume you do too.
Oh, I have a bunch. I even just put out a video of my trailer.
You already Oh my God.
So,
I cannot wait to see it. That's great.
Yeah. Do you have the...
load up the trailer.
Well, do you have the Twitch open so you can see the chat?
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't see anybody in here just yet, so I'm going to give it a little bit. So,
before we start the trailer, totally.
Yeah. So, Dan, were you excited that the trailer dropped? Did you?
Of course.
Yeah.
I have been... well, I mean, you know me. I've been desperate for any more information about Deadly Premonition this whole time. I have been waiting anxiously for the newest updates, and I'm one of those people who I don't want to watch trailers and I don't want to cheat myself, but at the same time, sometimes I can't help myself, and I do watch the trailers and I find out what's coming. As I learned from the original Deadly Premonition, this can be a very bad idea because there is a reveal. There are a couple of reveals in Deadly Premonition, not only the trailer, but that first premonition in the game that would really spoil some late game stuff.
Yes.
And I don't think there is, I think, one shot in this where I'm like, I think
might
that
be late
might...
game. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think I know the one you're speaking of.
Well, we're going to find out if we're both thinking the same thing soon enough. But yes, I was incredibly excited to see that this was happening. But at the same time, I was not able to say, oh, okay, well, I didn't feel 100% safe watching it, but I watched it nonetheless. And I don't think I've ruined anything. I just think it's made me more excited for the game. Weird to see a trailer without any skateboarding in it, given how much they've been focusing on the skateboarding.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised it didn't have any skateboarding in it. And they only showed two of the mini games. Hey, Fraud. Have you watched the trailer yet? Because I'm just waiting a little bit for some people to come in, the regulars, if they do come in, before I start the replay the trailer on here. Cool. So I basically woke up, and I guess this posted about 5 a.m. my time, and I had people tweeting at me, and I'm like, oh, a new trailer. I'm like, do I want to watch it? And I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah, we're getting so close to launch day. We are 2 weeks and a couple of days out. So, yeah. I mean, any day now we could be finding, any day now they're going to release the final trailer. And that's the one, everybody, you're going to want to watch out for if there's spoilers. Historically, final trailers can be pretty darn spoilery. So if you're sensitive about that kind of stuff...
Which doesn't make sense, because it's like the launch trailer. Why are you going to spoil the game you're launching?
I know, right?
Yeah.
But people do it. That's the thing. Like, I don't get marketing people. You don't get marketing people. But they do spoil things, and I've never really understood it. I mean, Robert Zemeckis always said that he thinks trailers should give away the whole movie. And this is true. He said trailers should give away the whole movie, because he honestly believes people don't like to be surprised. He's like, when people want to go to a movie theater in America, like when Americans want to go see a movie, they want it to be like going to McDonald's. They know exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's very cynical of Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
The most famous time he did that was I don't know if you ever saw What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay. Yeah. Spoiler alert, everybody, although I can't spoil it because the trailer already did. He gives away in the trailer that Harrison Ford is the villain. That is a third act reveal that Harrison Ford is a murderer. It's in the trailer. And yeah, so it kind of ruins the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm always worried about when I watch a trailer, you know? I'm always worried that exact thing is going to happen again.
Well, that's one of the things we were worried about with this trailer, Fraud, that they might spoil the game. That's why I was kind of on the fence about watching it, but I decided to take the plunge because I knew
absolutely.
I knew everybody would be talking about it, and I'm like, I might as well just watch it. Might as well just watch
We're running Deadly Premonition archives. It would be negligent of us to not cover the new trailer.
I know, right?
Actually, not doing our duty. Mm-hmm. As people who cover Deadly Premonition, not looking at this. But no, like, if there's a launch trailer, I mean, we might cover it. We'll see. Because the problem is, the launch trailer is going to come out on launch day. Spoiler alert,
dude,
12:01 launch day. I'm going to be playing that game. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know that you and I are going to have time to watch a trailer once the game's
out. Like, don't bother me. I'm playing Deadly Premonition too.
Although, I think what we might actually want to do is, once we're done the game, like, go back and watch the launch trailer and see how much it spoiled.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I see a couple more people in here. I guess I can start by playing the trailer for you guys.
Okay.
Well, let's
conversation.
This on here.
Peggy 16.
So excited.
Are you looking for something new? Are you looking for a home away from home? Then come on down to Lucare, a cozy rural town in the great state of Louisiana. Experience all the beautiful nature and wide range of fun activities that this historic part of the Deep South has to offer. Take a stroll down the river, challenge yourself to a thrilling bayou adventure, or invite your friends to a friendly game of bowling at Alexa's Barring Lane. Be sure to treat yourself to some delicious Creole cuisine. And when you feel tired, there's always a room with your name on it down in Casa Pineapple. In Lucare, everyone's welcome, and everyone's as happy as a dead pig in the sunshine. Explore the unique history and beauty that permeates this amazing town. A town like nowhere else. You're sure to feel right at home down in Lucare. And with a little southern luck, you might even experience something out of the ordinary. In fact, it might end up being so much fun that you find it hard to leave.
Not that I know of.
Is that right, Zach?
York! Agent York! York! Agent York!
Oof. Look at that.
Nice. Yeah, and that's it.
We're almost there, peeps. Yes. No, I don't think that's a real expression either. I suspect that a dead pig in the sun is not a real expression.
I don't think
I've heard of plenty of pig-related. Yeah, no, exactly. I've heard of plenty of pig-related expressions.
I've heard happy as a pig in mud, but not a dead pig in the sun.
And a more foul version of it. And I think they're pointedly giving us a disturbing version of that aphorism to help set the tone.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the trailer. I'm all on board, guys. And the weird part is, I understand every bit about that trailer and what that trailer is for, except for the weird, like, Evil Dead zoom through the woods to look at a shack. Like, a weirdly large proportion of that trailer is just a camera zoom through the woods that ends up at a shack. And I'm like, what's that shack about? Is that significant? Like, there's no obvious significance to it in a way that I think I see some obvious significance with a bunch of the other stuff in there.
I don't know. Maybe
see what I'm saying?
It was just creepy.
Well, it is creepy. I'm not going to deny that. But yeah, it was just strange to me. So, your initial impressions.
Oh, happy as a dead pig in sunshine is an old Southern expression. Wow. Learned something new.
That's a scary people down south if that's their old expressions. Some scary people down that way. Happy as a dead pig in sunshine.
I'm wondering what is it being a sarcastic, like you aren't happy because you're a dead pig in sunshine?
Yeah. Like, imagining a dead pig in sunshine, and that's going to go very badly for that pig's body very quickly. And I'm trying to imagine the awfulness and the humidity of Louisiana in the summer and just a dead pig left out to rot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they mean by that, but it's not a comforting expression on any level.
That makes sense. Because when the dead pig's corpse lies in the
Oh,
sunshine for too long, its mouth gets
wow.
warped to look like it's smiling. Okay. That's dark.
Oh, damn. That is so dark. Thank you for telling us.
Now it makes sense.
Well, yeah, it makes 100% sense. Oh, damn. So a rigor mortis or a desiccated pig will start to look like it's smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very dark expression. Thank you so much for telling us that, because it lets you know the kind of tone we're going to be dealing with in this game. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, that's a rough one, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yes, right off the top, I'm very impressed by how fast that gets creepy. We start with the travelogue. We get some nice images. Notably, and I think this is number 3 if you want to put the image up.
Okay.
There's a church.
Yeah, there's a church. We kind of knew that it was going to have some religious stuff.
Yeah, because we saw the priest. Yeah, we've heard about the religious stuff. We saw the priest in the previous trailer. Yeah, the priest who's also a doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor priest from last time, from the last trailer, right? Mm-hmm. And that was, and so it's very interesting to actually see the church. And it made me realize that that's one thing that isn't in Greenvale.
At least you can see, you could see the building, but you can't go inside.
Exactly. Like it is kind of weird given the themes of the story and given the world it's set in. Yeah. It's almost strange that we never actually meet the pastor of the church or go to the church in Deadly Premonition. And obviously he's remedying this time with Deadly Premonition 2.
Yep.
Like he's decided to take a different tack on it. And that's got me really interested for what the role religion is going to play in it this time.
I agree.
Church, which is can I just say, I know the graphics don't look spectacular, right?
Hey,
I know they don't.
Better than the original.
No, not only do they look better than the original, I was taken by how good the trees look, how good the interiors look. Like, yeah, it's going to be a budget game, but for a budget game, like a budget open world game, I think it looks really good.
Me too. I really do like the art style. I like how it's a bit toned down. It's like D4's, but it's much toned down.
No, it's not doing the really heavy lines.
It's softer
around everything
and I really like it. It makes it distinct. Like it's still, I mean, you could still recognize it as being, part of the Deadly Premonition, I guess, franchise now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It matches visually the original, but it. Hey. Absolutely. Like it matches well with the original, but you're right. It has its own style, and it's like it's the exact midpoint between the visuals of D4 and Deadly Premonition, where there's a little bit of the heavy line cartoonishness, but not a huge amount, and it's no longer the defining characteristic of the visuals the way it was in D4.
Yeah.
Right? So there's this extra level of unreality to the art, but the locations are going for something close to photorealism.
Yes.
Like that looks like a real church. I mean, obviously you can tell it's a
like
video game.
Stained glass, and I like the sculpture of the angel. It looks really cool.
Yeah, you got the pews, the nice floor, the carpeting, the pulpit, and I also noticed the trees, and I know that's a thing that some people obsess over, how good trees look.
Screen of it.
Damn it, I didn't get a screenshot of the trees.
I think I have one. Give me one.
You got one ready to go?
No.
Yeah, like the trees that you see in the opening look at the game world, they look great. The trees look really good. And that's something you don't often get to say about video games unless you're dealing with really high-budget video games. But this one, not a huge-budget video game, has surprisingly good-looking trees. Although if ever there was a game that kind of needs to have good-looking trees, it's probably Deadly Premonition.
I'm going to see if I can find a screenshot.
While you're doing that, I got to ask you, how happy are you to see the wildlife back?
I'm happy.
Just like the squirrel, the first one, just a little bird bouncing around.
I have a close-up of a tree that doesn't hold. Okay, give me a sec.
Doesn't help at all. Yeah, just go back to the start of the trip.
Here's two trees in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're good-looking trees.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're really good-looking trees.
Indeed.
Especially, for a budget video game. Yeah, I expect, like, when you get to downtown, the picture number 2, let me show off what I'm talking about, the downtown.
Okay. Let me find that.
2 if you can.
Yep.
Right.
We
You
got
go to the
palm
downtown.
trees.
I know, you got the palm trees, which, do they have those in Louisiana? I honestly
Yeah, it's a
don't know.
coast. Yeah, it's a course. Of course. It's
Hey,
warm.
it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying the weather couldn't handle it. I'm just saying, do they have them? I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
But look at those. The palm trees are nice, but like you can tell that when you get out, when you get a downtown, obviously most of the buildings we're not going to be able to go into, and there's going to be a lot of probably repetition in the building, just like in Deadly Premonition.
We should
but they all look much more pleasant.
We should also put up here. Hold on, I'm going to also add in the map. That's giving away the map that we've seen. 1 second. That I'm jealous that we're not getting, because for some reason only Europe's getting it.
Why is Europe the only ones getting this beautiful map?
I don't know, but I
doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It got confirmed for me that it's just a Europe.
We are not getting it.
Unless Nintendo
European
America
exclusive.
decides to change their mind. So, hold on.
Late. I mean, the games have... I'm pretty sure the boxes have already been printed and packaged. The game comes out in 2.5 weeks.
So let me
it's ready to ship, so it would be a little late to add something new in, which makes me sad, because I would love... Excuse me. Sorry. I would love to get my hands on one of those maps.
So here's the... Hold on. Here's the map. You can see some green boxes, and it looks like those are probably going to be areas that that you can enter. So we have several locations. Probably the same amount of locations in this new town that we had in Greenvale, but you won't have to travel as far. Yeah.
Oh my God, it is definitely less spread out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Greenvale. I've often talked about how it's my favorite virtual location ever. But I'm not going to go crazy and say it was the easiest place in the world to navigate.
Yeah.
You had to drive to hell and back all the damn time.
And speaking of, smiling pigs, it was pointed out to me that the map kind of looks like a pig face. If you look at it like a pig face from the side.
Yeah, with a snout.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah,
I could totally buy that.
But it doesn't look like, unless a lot of those are residents, but it seems like there's a lot of areas we can go to, which is exciting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I cannot wait to see how in-depth the city is this time. Like, how much actual, practical locations they've built for us to explore, because that's going to be good. One thing I noticed is... Oh,
wait, hold on.
And this is the thing... Oh, please.
Farfrod, I have not been to Louisiana. I don't know about Dan. Have you?
Sorry.
Have you been to...
Can you tell us anything about Louisiana?
No. Have you been to Louisiana?
I have not.
Okay.
And, to see Tool in concert. Nice.
Yeah.
Been to Louisiana. So our knowledge of it is entirely based on fiction.
Yep.
For me, the movie Hard Target.
Movie
that everyone should watch.
Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Jean-Claude Van
probably
Damme?
not that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme, directed by John Woo. Oh my God. It suddenly occurred to me that there's a good chance that since he's going to Louisiana, and we know his taste in movies, he might name check Hard Target.
Oh no, wow.
In this movie!
He might.
He totally might. That didn't even occur to me when I said it. But yeah, he could totally mention Hard Target. It would make perfect sense.
And the town
because that is totally his kind of movie.
So they haven't really mentioned driving in any of the specs, but they have mentioned skateboarding and how you can customize your skateboard. So given the size of the town, it looks like our main mode of transportation is walking and or
skateboarding.
Yeah.
Which would be an interesting surprise if we ended up skateboarding rather than driving a lot of the time. It would be a big turn that would not displease me at all.
It would only displease me if we don't get some nice York and Zach conversations.
actually the one thing I am worried about in losing the car, because so much of the character, like so much of their friendship was built out by those wonderful York and Zach conversations while you're just driving aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what? And the minute you notice them, and then and God, I pity people who just critical path the whole story and never heard any of those conversations, because they're out there. There are people like that who played that game without ever hearing any of those conversations. And then there's people like us who just like drive around in circles until they trigger a new conversation.
It's like, how many conversations is in this chapter? Let's find out.
I know. Turns out
humming.
There's a lot.
He's whistling. Okay, I'm out for this chapter.
Yeah. Once he starts humming, you're good. Yeah, no, we can get back to the story.
Let's go back to your screenshot here.
Statement about, yes. Who's Maurice?
I don't know. Probably some business. But this,
I know. I just found the Maurice sign weird.
This is actually a view from the Casa Pineapple Hotel. So York has a very nice view from where he's going to be eating breakfast and dinner and shit. He's living the high life.
Speaking of, do you want to do me a favor and bring up 21?
21.
Yeah, because you were, based on what you were saying to me the other day about in the D4 podcast, which I encourage all of you to check out. We had a lot to say about D4, about how he had wanted to do more food stuff with Deadly Premonition.
Yes.
Right? And I was thinking, if you look there, there's clearly a character on that balcony who's a chef.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
White shirt, chef's hat, serving a meal, talking to a customer that doesn't seem to be York. And it raises the question, so are we going to have a character like the role Kaysen served? And, there are some characters in Deadly Premonition talk about food as well. But like the role Kaysen served in D4, where there's going to be a character showing up who just talks constantly about food, and we hear theories about food and interesting dishes, the way that we split up between Nick and Thomas back in Deadly Premonition.
I guess so. I mean, it'd be
that would be very interesting.
If we didn't, that'd be kind of weird because it's what we expect,
right?
But what amused me the most about this little scene is York is in pajamas, and he didn't wear pajamas in the first game. So I joke, like, were they provided by the establishment because York only packs suits in a suitcase?
Right, actually. Something I noticed, and I wanted to mention, because we talked a bit about, when we moved past D4 to talk a bit about the trailer and new things in the advertising and the scary idea that they might be trying to retcon the year the Deadly Premonition took place.
My timeline!
I'm not in favor of that. I think that's really... Hard Target is a classic. I agree. It's an amazing movie. But anyway... which everybody has to see, seriously. Check out Hard Target if you haven't. You haven't? Oh my God, you're going to love it. I'm not saying you're going to watch it today or tomorrow, but you're going to love that movie when you see it. It is a ton of fun. Lance Henriksen's the bad guy. And Arnold Vosloo, who would go on to play the Mummy. In popular series, The Mummy. But anyway, what I was going to say was, So ever since you put it in my head that they might be trying to retcon the year Deadly Premonition happened to 2010, I've been looking at York's face in these trailers and the content from the thing. And because we talked about how hot York looks now, and how much better he looks, and it makes me wonder, are they trying to make him look... Oh my God, I'm sorry. Someone is phoning me.
Like, that wasn't on my end.
That was my ringtone, and I apologize. I sent him straight to voicemail. Don't worry. But anyway, as I was saying, the young, like, maybe the reason he looks so good is because they're trying to make it clear that this is a 5 years younger York, and I don't want it to be, and I think that would be a bad idea. But it's possible that the tack they're going to take is that this is his first encounter with the Red Seeds. And he spends the next 5 years pursuing this case, ending in 2010 when Deadly Premonition happens. And yeah, that's going to screw up all of our timelines pretty badly.
A timeline!
Almost unbelievably badly, in fact, because everything about the game makes it clear that it's set in 2006. And that makes me a little sad, but hopefully the story is good enough that I don't wind up caring about minutia like them changing the timeline. But just for the record, we're not going back and changing our story breakdown video.
Oh, hell
We'll just
no.
add an explanatory
I'm
note.
not doing that again.
No, of course. We're just going to add an explanatory note that says anytime we talk about a year, just add 5 to that year. There, done.
Yep.
And that's all you have to do to get it to where they now say it is. This isn't confirmed yet, but there's a good chance for that. Yeah, American Horror Story did a season in New Orleans, apparently.
Yeah, Coven.
And apparently one of the seasons a preacher is. I had no idea. Neat. Yeah. Thank you for telling us. That sounds very cool. All right, so next up, can you load up number 4?
Okay. Oh, I gotta hide. Hold on.
Yeah.
Which number was this last one I did?
Last one was the city, which was the 21. Last one was 21.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't scrolling up far enough.
Did I order these in any sane way? No, I didn't.
We got
They
bowling.
do have numbers.
We got bowling.
And the thing that I want to point out is it weird that the thing I find most compelling in there and want to know most about is, what is Tristan? What is Tristan established in 1907?
I don't know.
Because it's not the name of the bowling alley. It's not the name of the town. What is Tristan?
You know what? The little whatchamacallit leaves on the side kind of remind me of the thing on the doctor's stethoscope. Let me see if I
can totally see that comparison.
Let me see if I can bring that up.
Yeah.
So 1 sec.
Yeah, the laurels on the side of the word Tristan.
Laurels, that's the name.
You almost can't read it. Laurels, yeah. Yeah, I had to zoom in a lot to see that it said established 1907, and I'm like, I mean, is this going to be nothing and that's just a brand of beer? Or is it weird? Because you've got... Well, no, because what I noticed was you got the laurels, you got Tristan, but then you got it surrounded by palm trees, just like the palm fronds that are all over the town. So it's probably something local, but what exactly could that mean is my question.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like
there's not anything obvious.
I don't have a screen, so give me 1 second and I can make a screen of the... So keep talking. I will...
Thank you so much. And also, I just want to give a shout out to this lady's outfit. I love this lady's outfit.
It is good.
The cardigan, the flower print shirt, the leopard skin bowling ball. How much do you love that leopard skin bowling ball?
I love it. I hope that York can get a...
custom bowling ball?
Yes. So
that would be amazing.
We saw the doctor in the first trailer, right? I think it was.
We did see the doctor in the first trailer, yeah. G from Mars. Yes, I'll tell you. There's nothing specific about the timeline, about the retconning and moving everything 4 years down the line. Like, there's nothing terrible about it. Like, it doesn't change anything except for the fact that it makes dialogue, it makes a huge amount of dialogue in the original inaccurate, because she specifically said she came to town 10 years ago, back right when Emily, I should make that clear, moved to town 10 years ago when she was in her late teens, and the mill just closed down. And the mill closed down in 1997. Right, and you are shown evidence within the mill that that the last year it was in operation, there's 97 posters everywhere, 97 imagery.
Okay, there's the doctor.
Yeah, there's the doctor.
So my big concern is that the game went out of its way to leave all these in-game clues about when it actually takes place. They said that the massacre happened in 50 years ago.
56.
And the file was from 56. You look around town, you could see stuff like 97 in the lumber mill. That's when it closed down. You have people mentioning, things happening in the rocking 80s when the heyday of the town was. My position is...
I was just... Sorry. Please.
I just... there's a lot of work I put into making the timeline, and I'll just be very disappointed.
+4 to everything. And I would say, and tell me if you agree with me on this one, but my position is, no, it doesn't materially affect anything. Like, it doesn't actually change anything that happened in the game. It doesn't really affect the plot if you just add +5 or +4 to all of the years. But it would disappoint me if they did that just for the sake of doing that, just to retcon it so that the game takes place the same year it came out for no particular reason. And that would disappoint me, but it wouldn't affect anything really.
And the game was originally supposed to come out 2007, so yeah. It made sense that it was originally going to be in 2006, but then got pushed back. So they might retcon it
over and over.
I'll just be sad. But the thing is, Swery was just so meticulous with all his little details, with the observations York's made, the dialogue between the characters. It's just like, why would he do that? There's no reason. Yeah. But whatever, it's probably just going to be me and maybe you who are going to be like, but wait.
You're going to be upset. I'm not going to pretend I'm not going to be upset, but I will accept it eventually.
I'll accept it. I'll just be bitter. Just be bitter.
Yes, no, I just want to reserve the right to be really pissy about this for no reason when the game comes out, okay? That's what I want. But it's like, I would accept that this is where he if the plot is, this is where he finds out about the red seeds, and then it all starts here, and then there was a 4-year journey to become Deadly Premonition, to get to the point of Deadly Premonition. No, I think I would be okay with that. I wouldn't be happy with it, but I think I would be okay with it. And that is where I'll step. That is where I will say I am on that issue.
Okay, so I guess I was wrong. I thought there was a little leaf things around.
No, it doesn't seem to be.
But
no, it's definitely another symbol.
It kind of looks holy with the light beams, but yeah. So I guess I was misremembering the stethoscope.
No, G from Mars. I famously hate the extra scenes from the director's cut. I think they kind of spoil the entire game and have no reason to be in there, and I'm glad they've been removed from continuity.
I just thought they were inane.
I'm glad they are no part of the story. Oh yeah, there's no reason for them to be. They add nothing. I mean, I know you like the extra ending.
I like the... Yeah. Grandma liked movies?
Yeah,
just
I know.
Shit like that. I did like York and Zach reuniting, the little extra epilogue.
Yeah, it's sweet.
That's about it.
But if you take that out, I gotta say, and I mean, we've had this discussion before. You can listen to us have this discussion elsewhere. But I will say that I think the ending is so perfect of everybody who has died in the diner at that last moment, right? And then just ending it there, just stopping it there. If you also say, oh, also Zach died and now he's in the diner too. And I'm like, come on, guys. This is about the beginning and middle and ending of the story we all watched together. Having a whole bunch of scenes set 50 years later, and then Zach dies and we see him getting into the diner, I don't think it adds anything. And that's my point.
No.
I don't think it adds anything to the story we just told. And it's been retconned out of existence. That's the one thing. So I'm happy about that. And obviously, it was the start of his idea of setting the next game in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what?
That was the first mention.
You know
Please.
what? Oh, shoot. Do I have a screenshot of it? Okay, keep talking. There's something I want to point out.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I mean, that was my feelings about the extra scenes. I bought it the day it came out on Xbox. I bought the special edition, not the special edition, the regular edition. They didn't. I don't think it was the special edition right away. So I bought whatever the most expensive edition was the day it came out on PS3 because I had to have more Deadly Premonition. And he said there was new content and blah, 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 blah. And honestly, the new scenes were a complete bust. And the cars somehow drove worse on the PS3 than they did on the Xbox. I still don't know how they managed that. So yeah, the whole director's cut to me was a complete waste of time and money. And I'm glad that Deadly Premonition Origins has removed all of that from the continuity. And that's just not part of it anymore. We're all just going to pretend the director's cut didn't happen. And I love that, Swery and I are of one mind on this.
Okay, so back onto Louisiana, that it might not just be something
Please.
he thought of for the director's cut. If you look closely at the map, oh, gotta hide. There we go. If you look closely at the map, you see in chapter 00 of the original game, there is a red tree. There's a red tree symbol pin on Louisiana.
Oh, God, that man is a genius. So he was thinking about it right from the start because the man's a genius.
Maybe he was, and it's just another, hint that hey, Kaysen might be involved, or the red tree, or another agent might be involved.
Well, I mean, the red tree we know is involved. We've seen the trailer now. The red tree's all over that trailer. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going to get to the more spoilery stuff in a second. Now we're just talking about the stuff that doesn't really give anything huge away. But there's some huge hints in there. So, what's going on with that little girl?
Patricia Woods?
Yeah, so, what's going on with Patricia?
What we know about her is that she is 10 years old. She is the daughter of the sheriff. And she's apparently very mature for her age, according to the European Nintendo product description. Very mature for her age, and she demands that York take her along on the investigation. So maybe, I don't know.
No, it's like she's got to be an interesting character. There's got to be a lot there. And I see where you were confused, G, from those. No, we were talking about the little girl in the director's
We were talking about Louise. Louise Morgan.
Yeah, that's fine, but oof. But I'm very interested to see what's going on with Patricia, because there's one shot in this where she's like in a, like, not only just in the investigation, but like in a hard hat in the cold room, while a guy is freaking out, and she's just seems to be talking.
Which number was that? You have the screen.
Let's see. Load that up. 12. That's number 12.
It's number 12. Okay. Yeah, so we did see an actual screenshot of this earlier, like weeks ago, of York and Patricia talking to these people, and this dude is flipping out.
Out about something.
Yeah. And
I don't know what it is, but wow.
Maybe he found the dead body. We don't know. But you can't tell from this screenshot, but the hard hats, they have a C on the side. They have Clarkson, and there's the little dragonfly in the middle of the C.
The dragonfly logo. It seems to be the family crest or something like it.
I do have a screenshot of that, so 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, the Clarkson hard hats.
Sorry,
whoever the Clarkson company is.
I'm remembering shit that I took screens of. I'm like, I want to talk about that.
Just the gators on the back wall.
Yeah, the skin gators.
Yeah, the gator skins on the back wall. I'm like, well, it is Louisiana, right?
Yeah. So here,
wow. That's strange to see.
This is huge. Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah, it is. And we know that. There's another shot. Let's see. If you go to 16 when you're done with this, we get a confirmation that the body is found in a Clarkson operation warehouse. Or, I mean, we don't know what the facility is yet. We don't know what Clarkson does yet.
Yeah.
Right. But the point is, go to there's the logo.
There's the logo Clarkson with the Clarkson, and then you said 16.
And she wears the locket with it. Yeah, load up 16. Load up 16, and that's the chainsaw. It's the close-up of the chainsaw we get, but if you look off to the right, you can see that all the crates also say Clarkson on them.
Yep, and also notice the body is I just lost the word. Shit.
Okay.
You sliced body parts off. You hacked off limbs.
Yes, the disjointed.
Disjointed. Okay, yeah, there we go.
It has been cut at all of the joints. I noticed that as well, which raises the question, and if this is too gruesome, you tell me and I'll apologize. Is it one body?
That's the word I was looking for, dismembered.
I was going to say disjointed because it was cut at all the joints.
Well, the knees are still intact.
Oh, no, you're right. The knees are still intact. But which raises the question, is this just one body, or has someone taken parts from a bunch of different bodies to make a single corpse?
Ooh, well, I'm gonna.
I know, right?
Maybe.
It's a gross idea.
That would be really creepy, though. Oh my God, that'd
It
be
would be.
really messed up.
But no, I noticed that it was in different parts, and I think we got a good shot here of all of the different. Like, where's the best shot of all the different parts?
Well,
trying to
the
see.
far away one.
Yeah, the far away one.
Which one
I'm
is
just
that?
looking where in the numbers that is. Yorkside legs and ice. Shit.
Oh, it looks like it's 15.
I swear I have. Oh,
It's 15.
It's 15.
Yeah.
It's 15.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you can really
what's
you can really see that she's cut up into different separate pieces.
What's also interesting about this scene, I talked about it in my breakdown video, but there's a team of FBI agents there. So my guess is this body right here is from 2019 because York works alone. So this might be the body that sends Jones and Davis
copycat crime. Okay.
To Zach to talk to him about this case. And I do have a close up of that photo that we talked about in the third podcast episode. If you look,
of course.
Hold on. Shoot.
I was gonna say that okay, and I mean this was probably me reading into it, right? But it's entirely possible I'm reading into it. I thought it was set at the present in the rest of the 2005 stuff, simply because you get that shot of the corpse, right? So you get, yes, the FBI are working to cut her out and examine it. But at the same time, the guy who's freaking out when talking to young Patricia kind of looks like he might be the same guy who's freaking out in the empty room shot of the warehouse. And the empty room shot of the warehouse is the same room the body is found.
Oh, maybe.
Wait. Oh, it is the same room. You can actually tell.
Here's the...
If you look very closely, you can see that it's all the same room.
But where's the alligators?
Oh, no, but you don't see all the walls in it. Go to 8, worker and storeroom. So go straight from this image to 8, and you're going to see it's the same room.
Hold on a second. Let me hide this.
Yeah.
But this is the same room. But the one with Patricia.
Yeah.
Which number was that?
Yeah. Well, no, we don't know if Patricia and them are in the same room.
So that was
12.
12.
So yeah, go from this. Yeah, go from this to 8, and then go to 12.
So this is. Hold on. So that's 15. So we got 8. Yeah, that's the same room.
Yeah,
and then
that's clearly
12.
the same room. But then go to Patricia, and it might not be the same
Look at the walls. You got like paneling with the alligator. That's why I didn't think it was the same place.
Yeah, I see your point, but you've got another Clarkson worker in that room early. Like you've got another, according to picture 8, we've got a Clarkson worker in that room. So I thought it's entirely possible that all 3 rooms are the same.
It might be it might be the same like building, but just in different time period. Because I was thinking
could be.
So in this screen, here, let me make it bigger so you could see the photo.
Yeah.
The little photo on the table looks like it might be a lady in ice. So that's why I was thinking, maybe it's the...
Maybe that's the comeback. Maybe that's the reason they're coming there, or maybe that's the case file dealing with the original case.
Yeah. So
yeah, either way, there is. It could be either one. You're absolutely right. There is just as much evidence for your theory as there is for mine.
So there's also, we saw, I think this lady is the lady from the ice. You have this picture. I think this might be the lady that was found in the ice. We did get a shot of her.
What I've got here, I've got all of the close-ups. In 18 through 20, we've got the 3 close-ups we get of the body packed in ice. If you want to show those off.
Yeah, so it ends with the head.
Yeah, it ends with the face, which, I mean, almost doesn't look like it's in ice at all. Like it looks just like it's kind of floating. Because you got these, the real close look at ice, but then you get the face, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that just seems like a face.
Well, it might
without
be
the ice obscuring it the way it does the other 2.
It might be
thawed out.
It might already be out of the ice by that point.
That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But this isn't the only body we see. We also see the
the red dress woman.
Yeah, the red dress, and it's all bloody. So that was number
Oh, so
9 through 10.
that's 9 through 11. 9 through 11.
Okay, so
And there's a couple of interesting things going on. A, the red dresses and red high heels specifically reference the goddess outfits in Deadly Premonition, obviously.
so that's the red dress. She also has like a some sort of
A
big
necklace or tattoo.
Yeah. Oops.
But I mean, because it's out of focus, I can't guarantee that's not a tattoo.
We got the red heels. And
Red heels, and then we got the red, the bloody hands, which makes it look like she put up a fight and was punching somebody, because her knuckles are badly skinned. In addition to the blood drops and the cuts on them, they've gone to the point of putting like injuries to her knuckles, like she was trying to hit against something or
really,
someone.
I don't really see injuries to the knuckle. I mean, I see the blood, but I don't see like bruising or anything.
His
like
finger
that.
knuckle as well also has redness on it.
Oh,
I think
Okay.
that's intentional, but it could be nothing. But I think that might be intentional to suggest that kind of defensive injuries, as they call them on TV.
Now-
I don't know if they call them that.
I'm kind of wondering if this body in particular might be the murdered Lise Clarkson from 1943. What do you think?
Like the problem is those shots. I mean, are we going to do a flashback to Lise Clarkson?
Well, I assume so. So if you guys don't know, I do have a screenshot of it. One second.
It's just historically when this series has done flashbacks, we've always done them sepia tone, right?
Yeah.
So this would be a complete living color, utterly realistic flashback, which would be a first for the series to ever do like a flashback that is not visually tinged in one way or another.
So there was a teaser trailer on Toy Box's website, and it was just basically you saw this newspaper fly up onto the screen, and then York starting to talk to Zach. So it looks like in 1943, a Clarkson was killed, murdered, and it might be an unsolved mystery. And given it seems like Clarkson, at least the family name, they seem to be a big deal in the town. So
yeah, the big wheels in the town. Yeah,
maybe they're like a Harry Stewart. So
situation. Yeah,
it might be a big tie to their family, this unsolved murder. So I'm wondering if any.
it easily could be.
Yeah.
And that could be the flashback to it, but at the same time, because the costume is so similar to what we saw in Deadly Premonition, my thought is that the costume is this is going to be a present day victim, and it's going to tie into the Red Seed killings and such.
Ah.
I know. I mean, it could go either way, but
Yeah.
the coincidence of the red dress would be a bit much. But hey, we'll see, right?
And speaking of Clarkson, we noticed that the Firefly is with that name a lot, and we've seen that Firefly on that gangster-looking guy, his eye patch, also on Patricia's silver locket, and it makes me wonder if maybe she's related to maybe like Clarkson,
right?
Yeah. Or maybe
she's got to be a Clarkson.
Or, I mean, her last name's Woods, but I mean, that doesn't really say anything. She could have just been from female line
she
or
could
whatever.
be part of the family.
Yeah.
Exactly. Female line still uses, still acknowledges their connection to it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, she could easily be involved. But you're right. The scary guy also has it. And what's his deal?
Oh, I should probably show a picture of the scary guy, so people know who we're talking
about him like everybody knows who we're talking about.
Yeah, so give me a second, guys. I will get the scary guy for you.
So it's probably time for us to get into the more things that get closer to being spoilery. Right? We've talked about the characters, we talked about the interesting mystery stuff. Now let's get into the supernatural spoilery stuff.
Okay, this is the scary.
And that is
this is the scary guy we were talking about. He has a firefly on his eye patch. So does he have a connection to Clarkson? Is he a Clarkson? Maybe he's the head honcho right now, or maybe it's what's her name's dad, Patricia's dad. Who knows?
It could be, right?
Yeah.
But it would be weird if Like it would be weird for him not to be closely connected to the Clarksons, since they've used the Firefly as the family Firefly. Oh my God, sorry, the Dragonfly as their family
Yeah,
sigil.
why do we keep saying Firefly?
It would
I'm
be
so
weird
sorry.
if he didn't have.
Dragonfly. Oh my
No,
God.
it's bad. I do it too. It's bad.
Ugh.
The Dragonfly as the family sigil, right? So it would be weird for this not to be meaningful, since we see the image over and over and over again around the town. So now let's get into the big stuff.
Okay.
All right. So could you hit 13 for me?
Okay, we got some sort of pod from a tree, and
That is the red tree bearing fruit.
and something's like coming out of it. It's like,
And the question is the thing that just glooped out of that what we see in picture 17?
maybe.
Look at picture 17.
I'm wondering
baby
if-
face. Look at that. So baby with nothing but red eyes, and in the background you see the vine. You see the vines that could make up the inside of the pod we were looking at in the in picture 13.
Yep.
Too far? Am I stretching
No,
things too much?
I think it might be. I'm
I think
wondering
that
if it's
that creature is being born from the red tree, and we're seeing that happen.
I'm wondering if this is maybe a common enemy we might encounter.
It could be, yeah.
Instead of shadows, we're going to get these
Instead of shadows, we're going to get these freak
tree
things.
beings. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that would be
creepy
interesting.
looking.
I know, it's so creepy looking. Now, let's move on to the next interesting tree thing.
Okay.
Can we get York's monster vine hand?
Which number is that?
Image number 6.
Okay. Yeah, that is that's his finger gun, and wow, that is
His arm is
intense.
made of vines.
Yeah.
Like in the when you played this in the video, and you all saw the video when it started, we can see that the vines are forming into his arm, and then as he's doing it, he extends his hand into the finger guns. And I'm like, so I guess he, like, the finger guns obviously only happen in the Otherworld sequences, but in the Otherworld sequences, York is also changed.
Yeah.
That's something I wasn't expecting. Like, York is now part monster in these sequences. What exactly does that mean?
So I was wondering. I mean, it looks very painful because it's like down to the bone.
His arm is torn apart.
Yeah, it's like down to the bone, and you got this branch and like red leaves,
and it's like rebuilding itself around his arm
so
to become the finger
I'm
gun.
wondering if maybe this is something that's bestowed on him by some sort of entity.
Yeah, it's like he's given the ability
Yeah.
to use his gun to shoot things.
So an entity's
He's
like,
given this
hey, you need this to fight the supernatural shit. And it gifts it him. So whenever he does enter the Otherworld sections, his arm becomes this, and he has a weapon to defeat the tree pod
Okay,
people.
good. That's exactly what I was thinking. All right, I'm glad we're on the same page on this one.
Yeah.
Next up, the thing that seemed like the biggest spoiler, right?
Okay.
And that is going to be, let's see, what number is it? 14.
This one? Okay, we were thinking of a different spoiler.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so what do you...
That, to me, as far as I can tell, that's the special agent coming to talk to York. In York's apartment
Aaliyah?
in the present day. Yeah, I think that's Aaliyah.
Okay.
I think that's the present day. Because it's suit jacket, white shirt, purse. That looks like one of the bookcases from York's apartment. And she's backing away from something glowing and purple, which suggests to me visually something crazy supernatural happening in the present day.
Oh, wow. And don't forget, like, the walls, like, it's flickering with red,
Yep, look at how
too.
dirty, Yep. The filthy, weird walls in the background that look like the, decrepit, unpainted walls in the place that he's living now. Like, to me, that seems like an obvious connection.
See, when I saw this,
might be pushing it.
I just assumed it was maybe an Otherworld sequence starting in the town. I didn't even think about maybe it being in Boston.
You see why I think that's Boston, right?
With the shelves and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, with the shelves and the fact that it's a woman wearing this, respectable dark charcoal gray suit jacket, and something like crazy is happening that she's fearfully backing away from. So I'm just saying something weird and supernatural might happen in the Boston apartment, and that's why I thought this might have been a big spoiler. But what did you think was the big spoiler? I can't wait to find out since it's a different thing.
Oh, hello, Neko. How you doing?
Hey, Neko.
Okay, let me see. Okay,
Jeez.
I thought number 7 was a spoiler.
Oh, the guy in the plant world, yes.
Hold on.
And the guy in the red world, in the red tree world.
I think that's Zach.
Yeah.
So
Could be Zach in the red tree world. Yes.
He has,
that seemed like a giant spoiler as well.
Light color hair. I mean, it's hard to tell because of the red, but it looks like Zach's hair. And if there's another view of him,
the ratty matted white hair,
and you see the mustache. The mustache he has,
just the edge of the mustache. Yeah, it could be present day.
So I'm wondering if that's after Zach gets talking to the agents, and he's like, "Fuck, the case is still not solved. I need to go back." And this is
the way to go to the red tree world in the present day.
And he goes back and he goes to solve the case, just like
some
certain detectives in a cool show called True Detective.
There's a lot of superficial similarities too, which a lot of people has pointed out rightfully already. It would be very interesting because you're right, that could easily be Zach, and the hugeness of Zach actually going to the red tree world. I mean, if that actually happens in this game, that would be gigantic for the series.
Dan,
actually have him go.
I have seen True Detective season 1. I love it.
Yes, as have I.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good season of television. It really is. I don't care that 90% of it was that guy ripping off other better writers. It's a really good season of television. Oh, but yeah, that looks so creepy, and I see how that could be a huge spoiler as well.
So they make sure not to focus. They start with like a little bit of a side view, like you see just a little hint of the mustache, and then it turns immediately to his back. So I'm wondering if
do not get a look at this man's face.
You don't get a look at the face, but the hair and the mustache looks just like Zach.
Oh, it easily could be. Yeah. That's I'm right there with you on that one. I mean, the jacket with the wool collar is a completely new look that we haven't seen any other character in the game have yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, it could also.
I don't know exactly how you're going to pick that up.
If it's not Zach, maybe it's Patricia's dad, the sheriff.
I like it, how much time we're spending trying to find out who Patricia's dad is.
It's the gangster guy. No, it might be this dude.
Yeah, might be this dude. Might be the gangster guy. Maybe the doctor's her dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not the doctor. But anyway, he is a priest after all. But yeah, and now let's go to the big image, the final image of the thing. The close-up of York's eye, number 23.
Yes, and this one's really cool because what is that I spy in the pupil?
It's a red seed being picked up. How delicious!
Yeah, it's the red seed.
Again, that image alone makes me wonder if this is supposed to be the story of the first time he encountered the red seeds.
Well, in the game, he said he's Boston homicide. So maybe this is at the Boston homicide.
He did say it was the Boston. Yeah, you're right. He did say it was Boston. But you're right. It could also be a flashback. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. He said the first time he encountered it was Boston. But that is 100%, no doubt, confirmed red seeds in this game. They're going to be in here. It's going to be significant. We don't know how yet, but they put them in the trailer, and they know what that means to us. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean,
so exciting.
We got hints of a Dalmatian and a fat guy in the opening. So,
oh God!
And don't forget the red tree symbol on the actual game cover.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing when we found out we missed that. Yeah. Not a good look for us.
So let me.
Like we're so obsessed with the red tree, we missed the red tree.
I know. We were just looking at the big red tree. So this is the cover. Give me a sec. Okay. So hide.
Yeah, let's load up that cover.
And so here's the red tree. We're like, wow, it's so cool looking. Look at the eye that's formed with the sun. Yeah, that's great. And then we completely missed this big thing right there. Hello, red tree symbol.
Just to the left of the tree.
Yeah.
Could not have been easier to see. Really, really dumb move on our part. I'm gonna be fine admitting that. But yeah, real bad look for us.
The stream
Supposed to be
died?
the experts on this stuff.
No.
No, I'm watching it fine.
It still seems to be working on my. Okay. I was like, I don't have an error on my side.
Okay. No, I just had a hiccup for somebody, obviously. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
One thing after another.
There's also
Please.
some other little things in the clouds. We see some, if you look at the cloud to the left, you see a little alligator. And there's another alligator. Where is that other alligator? Oh, is it up here? Oh, there's also the dragonfly in the top right corner. And there is another alligator. Where is it? Oh, shoot. Somewhere, and I miss. I'm looking around for it. I guess it doesn't matter. The big thing is the stupid red tree symbol that we missed.
The tree makes a face of a guy with one eye, a skull with one eye, just like the mysterious man with the dragonfly eye patch. There's a big ass red tree in the clouds just beneath the tree, and go down a little. Go down to the bottom of that tree.
Okay.
And the question is, as you can see, the clouds meet the ground. So, are those clouds in the sky, or is that a cloud of toxin rolling over the city?
Ooh, it might be Red Sea gas.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That is the other thing I thought about, how the bottom clouds. I mean, maybe we're just looking at the horizons. Maybe they are just clouds, but they could be something else too. Because that is the water in which this game swims. Like, there have been a lot of eerie things in this franchise, and that could be just yet another thing that comes back. So I'd be very interested to see if it does. Obviously, I don't have any predictions about that, because that is way off, way on the other side of plausible, but it could happen. You never know.
Can't believe I lost the other alligator. It's not even that big of an image, and I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
You got it.
Very top cloud. There it is. Okay, I wasn't scrolling up far enough. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Big boss fight against the tree itself. Well, the problem is, with that is, unless this game ends with York losing his memory, he can't really have a showdown with the red. It kind of seems like it has to end with him losing his memory.
I mean, there's so much here that's like, why doesn't he remember? And
yeah, it's like there's so much other world stuff. And yeah, there's that line in the first game that... Well, actually, there is a way they...
I've never been attacked so directly before.
So directly.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the way they can earn that. I can tell you the way they can buy that back is by having all of the fight scenes in this one take place inarguably 100% inside Zach's head. Like, he goes onto a psychic journey into the other plane, and he's just shooting stuff with his fingers. Whereas in the subsequent one, to him, it really does seem like he's fighting these people approximately in the real world. So it could be that you're right. The fact that they can seemingly hurt him in the real world, and it kind of seems like that's happening in this one too, would be a contradiction. But if they make it 100% explicit that no, all of the combat in this game is just happening in the mental realm, they could still buy that back. But you're right, it would be very hard for them to do.
Yeah, I think he's gonna lose his memory somehow, and maybe with the agents asking him questions, it kind of jogs.
He'll start coming back.
Yeah.
That could be it. Like, that could easily be it. But yes, the reason I doubt the red tree will be our big boss fight is, well, if the red tree gets killed at the end, there's not really a threat in Deadly Premonition 1.
Well, it could get killed in 2019.
That's true. You're right. We could have a big boss fight against it in the present day. I mean, we may have already footage of York in the present day standing in front of the big tree. Yeah. That final showdown fight scene could happen in the present day, and it could be versus the red tree. And I mean, I don't want to lean too hard on our interview with York Morgan himself, Jeff Kramer, but he did say this thing is going to get so much more nuts than the original that we won't believe it.
And it works.
He said that this is so much crazier than the original that it's going to blow our minds. So I got to say, York in the present day. Yeah,
he said he liked this better than the original. So that's high praise.
That's the highest praise. The original is the best video game ever made. So for him to like this one even more, to be more impressed by the script this time, that's a huge deal. And so, yeah, you're right. The big showdown at the end, you're right, absolutely could be that crazy. And
also, I agree, G from Mars. It could just be hints in the 2005 investigation, and because of what Zach went through in Greenvale, the pieces finally come together for him, and he realizes that the real threat was the red tree and or agents.
Exactly.
And he goes back to stop the red tree.
And he could, as you say, he could mention the fact, he could come to the awareness of and mention the fact that it's there's all these pieces of evidence that he didn't understand the significance of way back in 2005. Mm-hmm. Now he understands how all this stuff works, but back in the day, there'll be stuff that we, the audience, understands the significance of, but York, the character, has no idea of the significance of. That would be very satisfying, and it would be very on brand for this story.
I'm still kind of wondering if time travel is going to play a factor, given the D4 apartment.
Ooh,
is Zach going to use a memento to go back at some point to maybe
that would be
stop?
amazing.
I mean, I don't know. It might be
maybe
a little bit too much.
I'm going to say something stupid, so just prepare. Maybe that's what that big flashing purple light is.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe that's what it looks like if someone else is there watching someone use a memento to travel in time.
I mean, it could just be an Easter egg that, hey, he's in David Young Henning's apartment.
That he's in David's apartment.
They make sure to say Boston, and then you have that very distinct apartment, and it's okay, so is there a connection to D4? And
that's the big thing. I want it to be more, right? I want it to mean something more. And I want, as we talked about on a D4 podcast, which again, I recommend because we talked a lot about Deadly Premonition as well in the D4 podcast, but there's a lot to talk about with D4 itself. I want it to be meaningful and I want to get closure on D4. I just don't know that we're ever going to have that. But just the fact that he's sitting in his apartment, it might just be a cute thing for fans. It might just be a way of teasing us. But maybe it's more meaningful than that, Yeah, maybe this really is significant and we are going to get meaningful information about D4 and that storyline in that world in Deadly Premonition 2. I'm just saying, I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. I'm just not sure it's impossible.
Yeah, it could just be how we saw Henry's apartment in Downpour, Silent Hill Downpour. It could just be that. A little Easter egg.
No, you're right. Again, I don't want to take my theorizing too far. I don't want to go nuts with this. But at the same time, I do want to go too nuts with this. I do want all questions to be answered. But wouldn't it be hilarious if the place we got the big answers for D4 was in The Good Life?
Oh, God.
That'd be pretty funny. You're no, if you want to find out what happened in D4, you got to buy The Good Life. Mm-hmm. You got us again, Sweary.
Hey, they already got me. I donated to that, so.
You're not out of here, Frau. You're going to be there either way. Don't be crazy. D4 was interesting on its own. And, it was weird that Forrest Kaysen was in both, which would kind of suggest that they can't actually have a crossover. But I would still like to get some kind of closure on that world. whether or not it makes sense and is actually part of the plot. I would like an attempt at closure in that world.
I would too.
I think that would be a nice touch. That would be fun, right?
But if I had to decide between the two, I'm like, just focus on Deadly Premonition.
Oh no, of course, obviously, I'm not delusional. I don't need a wrap up to D4 to make myself completely satisfied. I would like a wrap up to D4. And if I have to choose between what I want and what I need, just give me more Deadly Premonition. Give me more Deadly Premonition forever, Swery. I'll keep buying these. That's 100%.
Would you
fine.
be upset if it does end with Zach going back in time to stop Kaysen from influencing George or influencing or killing
or
Emily?
Something like that, and like preventing some part of the original timeline?
Yeah.
No, I would be fine with that.
Okay.
I would be 100% fine with that. If he mixes in mementos and Zach changes the past, yeah, I mean that would be a daring way to wrap things up.
I would want I want Thomas and Emily and the girls to be saved. I mean,
I know if there's one thing we could have, it would be to undo the horrors that he did in Greenvale. But yeah, Kaysen, you're the worst. God. But just, I mean, I'm so fascinated. Like, why is the fat guy and the dog in that trailer?
I know, right?
Is it going to be in it?
I should probably put that screen up.
Yeah, put that screen up because we got the Dalmatian and we've got the fat shirtless guy. Are they going to be in it? Is it meaningful, or is he just teasing us? Is he just expertly messing with our minds, or is this all going to pay off? So, because we have been promised the Deadly Premonition.
There's the fat guy. I don't think I have a screen of Willie. Hold on.
Okay, but I mean, people saw the opening credits. They know about Willie. They know that Willie's in there. And we know that Willie's the boss. We know that Willie directly works for the Red Tree.
Yes, he does.
Forrest Kaysen is his underling. So, come on, guys. Give us the payoff we've been demanding. We've been waiting, and I can't stress this enough, 10 years for this. Swery, you've been waiting 14 years for this. Since it was originally supposed to come out. Give us the payoff we need. Give us the ending that we deserve, and we will love you forever. Please. But yeah, like I have to imagine the opening credits are meaningful. And the thing is, they could be literally in there because half the game is set in the present day. And there could be a scene where Zach talks about Willie and talks about Kaysen, and that's the only reason they're in there. That's entirely possible. And no, I don't think that would be a cheat or anything like that. But I think I'm not alone in wanting it to be more meaningful than that.
Yeah, I don't have a Willie.
I want those images, and I want closure on Willie, goddammit. I want closure on that horrible monster dog. But seriously, though, how mind-blowing is it that when you that moment, because it's like we didn't even really notice that Willie, like, how many people noticed that Willie was in charge until he just flat out said it in an interview? Like, there's plenty of clues in the game, and he's like, almost nobody noticed this.
No one noticed. I mean, once he said that in the Destructoid Q&A, I was like,
you go back and you look at the clues, and you're like, God, it's all right. He said it
in the Q&A. He also said it in the post-mortem in the Games Developer magazine. And once I had that in mind, I went looking to see if there's any other clues besides the map. And there was that conversation with Brian in chapter 26 where he's like,
yep,
Willie's always watching.
Yep.
Watching us, watching Kaysen.
If you hadn't noted, like, and even if that, the metaphor of Kaysen literally being a dog toy.
Yeah, squeaky dog toy.
He steps like he's did nothing, and he steps on it, and it squeaks because the whole time Kaysen was a dog toy. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. The man's a genius. So I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
We have a question. Are you guys at all worried about this being a shorter, smaller scale game? Not necessarily a smaller scale story, just game wise. I don't think it will be. It just seems the town is smaller. I have a feeling it's probably going to be just as rich with stuff to like do and look at.
Stuff to do, peoples. Oh my god, with stuff to do, people to meet. I think there's going to be plenty. Like as we've seen, there's a bowling alley. there's races, there's skateboarding. The one thing that could make you worry that it's not going to be long enough, I think, and I don't know if this is what caused you to ask the question, but is we haven't seen a lot of characters in the game yet. Like, we have no idea how big the game world is from the standpoint of the people you'll be meeting. And that might be worrying, because think about it. Like, there's 20-some characters in Deadly Premonition to hang out with, to get to know, a ton of whom have their complete, like, there's a couple of supporting characters, but a huge number of characters have their own interesting story that's part of it. And in this, we've literally, I mean, think about it. You can go on one hand the amount of characters we've actually been shown from the town.
But I wouldn't really worry
Creepy
about
Guy,
it.
There's Patricia. There's Priest. There's who am I missing?
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde, right? Yeah, exactly. Like Crazy Blonde.
But you wouldn't.
But that's it.
We didn't really see a lot of the townsfolk in the original trailers either. So I
think that's what I'm getting. I would have faith, and again, you're free to disagree with me on this if you want. I have faith that this is comparably large.
Yeah, and with less traveling you have to do to get to places.
Yes. Well, that's the big win.
It's more compact.
But I don't think being a more compact world means there's going to be fewer characters or a less expansive story.
More worried if it was kind of controls like D4, where you're really limited on where you can go and look at a time.
Yes. But the fact that there's still an open world, I think, yeah, it comforts me a lot that this is going to be as expansive a kind of area. The fact that there's still an open world to explore, that I'm sure there will be collectibles and races and like tons of little things to do inside the town. Do you think he's going to bring back peeping?
I hope so. That was like my favorite thing.
Okay, that the thing wrong. That nobody did. I know it really did sound bad.
But I meant, like, you saw some really interesting things. It made me, rethink about so Carol and stuff. Carol. It's just, I hope there's
a much
peeping.
Bigger world. It would be great if there was peeping. I would love it if they bring back peeping. I don't know for sure, but I think it'd be fantastic if they went to the trouble of bringing back the peeping. Because, yeah, it's something a lot of people never experienced in the first one. Because, again, the game doesn't even tell you can do it.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you about cigarettes either.
No, well, yeah, the cigarettes one is really bad. But it's like any other game, one of the core missions, right, would be like, find out what's going on with Nick. Go and sneak into his backyard and peep on him while he's doing something. And so you would do that, right? You would do that. And then later in the game, and then at the end of it, you'd be like, wait, I bet that I could do this with other characters too. And that you would realize that was a mechanic in the game world. But Deadly Premonition never tells you can do it.
Now you got to figure it out for your own.
You got to figure it out for yourself. And it's, again, one of the many things that makes that game incredibly special. There's so much you have to figure out on your own.
Yep.
So I have no doubt it'll be a lot the same.
I am curious if they're going to be a little bit more blatant about the mechanics of the game.
Right, about teaching you how to play it.
Yeah, also, the map better fucking zoom out. If it doesn't zoom out, I'm going to be pissed because...
You're going to break stuff. Well, no, but I'll tell you one thing. Whether or not the map zooms out, we have already been shown in screenshots that icons about where things are and what distance they are and how to get there, multiple of them can appear on the map at once. So whether or not the map can zoom out... Anyway, the map can zoom out, right? Whether or not it can, it's still going to be much easier to navigate this world. I think we can say that to a high degree of certainty.
I mean, just the thought, as everybody complains about the map, and I swear I had to have heard the complaint about the map for over a decade.
He must have. For the love of God, you made a better map to pack in with the special edition. And they used it.
Yeah. So it's like...
So they know about the map.
They better have a map that zooms out. Okay? Or I'm going to be very disappointed.
You have every reason. You, of all people on Earth, you get to take this the most personally if they don't have the map. That is absolutely true. You're the one they are spitting in the face of. if they don't do the map
Oh no!
right this
Don't
time.
make it worse for the lols. No.
Oh no! I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right. Maybe they just want to taunt you specifically.
Oh, I hope not.
That would be a nightmare. Oh no, that would be terrible. No, I can't be sure they're going to fix it, but I'm as close as I can be to sure that they're going to do the map right this time. Yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah, but yeah, skateboarding should be fun. I'm excited to learn skateboarding tricks and take part in skateboarding races and competitions.
What about
That should be good.
skipping stones? Are you excited about that?
Of course. How could you not be? Is skipping stones going to be the darts of this time, do you think?
I thought bowling would be the darts.
Maybe. It's just skipping stones seemed like it would be an easy thing to turn into a competition for points, you know? Although the easiest thing to turn into competition for points is the thing we actually see as a competition for points in the game. The shooting gallery while on a fan boat. I always forget the name of those things.
I call them
the shooting gallery fan boat sequence.
I call them swamp boats. So
and that's a perfectly good name.
Oh, that's number one.
I just call them fan boats because there's a giant fan on the back of them.
There we go.
And that's what powers them. Yeah, there it is. You got the image. Yeah, it's like there's going to be a shooting gallery on fan boats. I don't know the logic of that in the game world, but I also don't care about the logic of that in the game world. I'm just happy it's in there.
And we also get to shoot alligators too, according to the
really?
Yeah, the product description. They mentioned
nice.
This mini game. They say alligators too. So.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's going to be good. Actually, my question to you in relation to that is, you'd be you're going to be as uncomfortable as I am with accurately shooting with a thumbstick on a controller, right? Like, what I love about, I know that this is going to be awkward to play, because if you watch the video of him aiming and shooting in the minigame, it actually looks like moving the crosshairs is really awkward. You can actually see the person doing it kind of struggling with it.
I don't know if it'll be that bad. I mean, it looks like it'll just be like shooting in the original one.
Yeah, but I'm saying controlling that with a mouse is without a mouse. Sorry, with a controller is always kind of iffy, and so I'm a little worried that it's going to be iffy in that way.
Oh, it might.
But I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
It could be great. It could be asking for trouble for no reason.
So we have another question. G from Mars. Okay. What about the possibility the game will launch broken? I wish I knew what engine they were using. I hope to God it doesn't launch broken.
Yeah.
Please don't.
I mean, that's an issue.
It's like.
But what I'll say about that is, it is much easier to patch games now than it was 10 years ago.
You really? Because they're still having trouble patching the original one. So I'd rather it not be broken.
You're absolutely right. I'd rather it not be broken too. I 100% agree with you. The best outcome in here is not broken at all. But if it is broken, everyone now kind of accepts that it is relatively easy to patch out a game, like, you know, a couple of days, a week after it comes out. Would I be very disappointed to load up this game on launch day and like, oh yeah, the trees don't work? You know, yeah, that would disappoint me a lot. Okay, I agree.
The dialogue doesn't work. The shadows
it's
are
like,
working.
oh, the shadows don't work. Like there's like the trees don't work. You know, the shadows don't work. You can't hear the dialogue. Like, there are lots of ways this could go wrong, and I understand the pedigree that the series has with glitches to worry that. But that being said, you know, we don't know how long they've been working on this. It's possible that this has had a robust, you know, like trial period that it has been. So do I. My greatest hope is that we're able to just load up the game and love it from beginning to end. Because, you know, for better or for worse, with all the problems Deadly Premonition had, you could play the game from beginning to end without any crashes or problems. The original was not the director's cut, you know?
Yes,
the original
I think
didn't
the worst
crash.
Would be random crashes. That is the worst. So I don't want to have to ABS all the time. Always be saving. I don't want to have to worry about always be saving because.
Well, a thing. Oh, please. Sorry.
Oh, that's it. I don't want this game to have the same issues with crashing. Just please let it run. I don't care if things glitch a little bit. Just don't fucking crash. How hard is it to not have a game that will hard crash? 2 hours.
Well, you're absolutely right. Yeah. It's bad. Yeah. Like the director's cut's a disaster, right? It really is. It barely works. It's barely possible to get it running on PC. You know, so I completely understand where you're coming from. That would be the nightmare scenario, right? Yeah. It would absolutely be the nightmare scenario if it crashes all the time. But I don't think it's going to. I think I have a little bit of faith, even though the re-release of Deadly Premonition Origins provides plenty of evidence that I should not have faith.
I mean, that's what people. I keep thinking too, is they released it on Switch and it was broken. Uh-huh. And it's still kind of broken.
You're absolutely right.
So it's like,
but I mean, they were porting over old code.
Yeah, I'm wondering since this was new. It's new. It's made for the Switch. It will work.
It was built from the ground up for the Switch. This isn't a port that has port issues. This is something that hopefully has been built specifically for the Switch, and they know by people who know what they're doing. Can I confirm that's what's happening? Of course I can't confirm that's what's happening. I wasn't there. But I think I have every reason to have a lot of faith in these people that they will do a good job. So there you go. The ports were done by third-party developers too. So there you go. Every reason to believe they're on top of this and they know what they're doing, and this will be much more stable. I hope. I hope.
I will be a sad puppy if it's broken.
But again, it's like I load up games on my Switch all the time, and it's like, hey, by the way, you got to download a patch. Like we fixed a couple of bugs. Here's a patch. It takes 30 seconds. They fix it. Like that happens literally all the time. And I think now that we live in the age of convenient patching and people doing really good after-sales service on their games, like you got to remember when Deadly Premonition came out for the Xbox, like patches were thought of as such an inconvenience that Microsoft charged publishers some insane amount of money, like $50,000 or $100,000 to push out a patch for the game.
Yep.
And so it's like companies couldn't afford to patch their own games, so they would just leave broken games out there. And that's not the age we're living anymore. Like we now live in an age where people understand, I mean, unless you're a small indie developer who literally can't afford to do it, but people who publish games understand you have to do after-launch support to make sure the game actually works. So I think there's a good chance that I think if there are bugs, I have every reason to believe that they're going to get squashed, you know?
Fingers crossed.
Naive. You're right. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we should probably wrap up here.
Yeah.
I think we've dug into this as much as we possibly can. By the way, I massively prefer what you've got on screen now, the Deadly Premonition 2 logo, to the we put 2 into the word deadly for some reason.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
You know, the logo that has the L replaced by the number 2. Oh,
yes. Okay. Sorry. I was like, what are you talking about? No,
I much prefer this version of the logo to the one they're actually using for the box, where they do the letter replaced with 2, except they replaced the L when, spoiler alert, A looks more like 2 than L does. Like, why would you have done that?
It does.
It just didn't make a lick of sense to me. I found that very strange. But I know it's weird. So yes, what can you, before the game launches, we should have a video about how the other worlds work, like what the cosmology of the
I
world
don't know.
It depends.
It depends.
It's going to be close.
It's
going to be close.
You know, it might not happen.
Hey, well, the editing is on me. If there's a problem, it's 100% my fault.
Oh yeah, you're gonna edit it.
At all.
So yeah, okay.
Exactly.
You can make that promise then. Never mind. You can make the promise.
I'm not promising anything. I'm saying there's a good chance, but If it doesn't happen, it's because I got busy with stuff, and I apologize in advance. But yes, what's upcoming on the channel?
Well, it was that Otherworld video. And
not only the Otherworld video, we're going to be doing another Greenvale Radio podcast.
Oh yes, we're gonna do a Greenvale Radio podcast on The Missing.
So
we're gonna record
that should be a ton of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna record it on Saturday. Hopefully, I'll get it up Sunday by the latest. Those aren't too hard to edit, so yeah.
That should be much easier to get up in time. And you're going to get our thoughts on Swery's most recent released game, The Missing.
Mm-hmm.
JJ McPhail on the island of... I always forget the last word.
Island
Memories?
of Memories?
Yeah. We both feel it's a fantastic game, and we're going to tell you why.
Yeah, I liked it a lot better than D4.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees with you on that one. Yes, and yes, hopefully Jeff Kramer can come back once we've fully broken down Deadly Premonition 2
to chat with him
to talk about that. Yes, we would love to hear more from him and have him do a post-mortem with it, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Oh, I am sure. So,
all right, so yeah, join us back here next week for that podcast. That should be a ton of this weekend.
It's not going to be on this Twitch channel. This is my personal.
Oh, you're
Twitch.
right. I keep forgetting that.
This is my personal Twitch channel. I usually do streams of survival horror games. It's just a special one-off.
I guess I'm speaking to whoever's watching this.
Yeah.
On the version of this that is posted on Deadly Premonition Archives.
So most of our Deadly Premonition content is on the YouTube channel. Just look up Deadly Premonition Archives. We post all our videos there. Our podcast also goes up there. I also have it set up so you can download it from iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, whatever. So the Missing podcast should be on the YouTube channel and your podcatcher at some point. Look forward to many more theory videos, hopefully more interviews. More,
fingers crossed.
Yeah, more of us going way too in depth on the story. We'll definitely do a plot breakdown of the prequel. Probably not right away, but it will happen.
Given how many hours did it take you to get all of the footage for Deadly Premonition?
Well, I had a lot of it.
We're going to have to go that level of the first one. I'm saying, how many hours did it take you to record all of that?
A lot.
Because, what I'm saying is we're going to have to go very in depth, because we're not going to make a story explain video about Deadly Premonition 2 until we feel we fully understand the story.
Oh, yeah. But we'll definitely have stuff like a podcast pretty much right away once we finish the game, just of our initial thoughts on the story, our reviews, I guess, and then later on, once we had more time to chew on it and think about it,
we'll start digging into the theory videos, the character videos, and of course the great big, way too epic story explained videos. And
of course, I will do a let's play of this, and I figured out a way to stream it, so I will be streaming Deadly Premonition 2 on this channel. This is going to be badass.
All right, so I guess we'll see you here for that. But until then, is there anything else you want to plug? Can I plug my thing I've been plugging everywhere?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, go watch a movie I wrote. Butchers is coming out soon. It's a splatter film, so if you have a strong stomach, you can watch it. But if not, don't. But you can watch the trailer now on YouTube. Just type in Butchers 2020. And I wrote that movie, or an earlier draft of that movie, I'm sure. And have a good time.
Yeah, and if you
Thank you for letting me plug that.
No problem. And if you haven't already, you guys, check out my YouTube channel, Whitney Plays. I have a trailer breakdown of this trailer that we've been discussing on my channel. I just put it up there of my own thoughts. Check it out. Let me know what you think. That's pretty much what I did all day.
When you were supposed to be working.
Hey, I didn't have much to do today, so I made use of my time.
I like that logic. And of course, I'm the hidden object guru. on YouTube. You can check me out there for my nightly streams that are specifically scheduled to stop a half hour before her nightly stream starts. So we're never fighting each other for attention. I mean, it actually just worked out that way. I didn't plan it at all, but it's nice that it worked out that way.
Yeah.
Mine is at 9 to 11 Eastern Daylight Time.
And
So yeah, we'll see you back here for that. But until then, I'm going to say au revoir.
Bye, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you all again real soon. Have a good night. Bye.